Just got back for the midnight launch. It was like 12:45 when I got out of there. But I got her. Also, little unorganized at the Best Buy. Also wouldn't let Hannah in. That peeved me a little bit. Also, the guy yelled at me when I tried to pick up the Pro Controller. But I got a Pro Controller. But they did not forget the coin. Best Buys were giving away a coin. Here it is. Wow. And you know what? We don't need this anymore. Switch 2. I got the Mario Kart one. Oh, so much text on this. Okay, yeah, I know how to charge a Switch, dude. There she is. I did get a chance to play with this a little bit at the event in New York City. I didn't get a good look at it or a good feel, really. There was too much excitement going on. This is like a weird matte finish. I kind of like it. Star of the show right here. Nintendo Switch 2, in case you were confused. Okay, oh, wow. Jesus. It's not even on. I'm giving it some gusto and it's not coming off. Damn. All right. Now, before I get too far into this, I wanted to address how Nintendo did not send this to anybody. Earlier today, or I guess the day before the Switch 2 launched, Nintendo sent it to select ambassadors and also some reviewers. It was locked, and the update to allow you to do anything on the system only came out today. So I would have never gotten one anyway, but Nintendo doesn't send me anything, so I would have had to go to Best Buy anyway. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because all the videos you're going to see today and within the next couple of days are going to be impressions video, even from the major outlets. There's two reasons why Nintendo would do this. One reason is they're not confident in their product and they don't want people reviewing it. I honestly don't think that's the case. The second reason, which is the more likely reason, is that it wasn't ready and the firmware needed to be polished up. Also, they don't really need reviews to help them sell this product. This is like the biggest handheld release of all time. But just keep in mind that all of the videos you'll see for the next couple of days are just impressions. They're not going to tell you the full story. That includes this video. There's going to be things that I miss, things that I'll only get to know over the next couple of days that will not be included in this video. Hopefully, over the next couple of days, I might do some YouTube shorts or something. So make sure you're subscribed and turn on the bell to all notifications. So when I upload a short about what I discover on this new Switch 2, you'll be able to get notified and see that video. And then afterwards, if you're sick of getting those notifications, you can go back and turn those notifications back to personalized. And then YouTube will figure out what you like and what you don't like. Thank you very much. What else we got in here? Anything? We got my Mario Kart. I'm going to need that. We got HDMI, which I don't think I'm going to even use. We got the straps that I'm probably never going to use. Maybe for the sliders in mouse mode, but we'll see. And then the dock, of course, the dock. How can we forget about the dock? The grip that I'm also never going to use. This is not a charge grip. I thought it might have been a charge grip. And then the dock. It is pretty huge. It is significantly bigger than the old dock. I'll get to a comparison when I go to replace my old dock with this one. I already got gunk on it. Look, I already got, what is that? Dandruff? Chaff? We got a new Nintendo banger. Yeah, this is gonna be the song for every hour-long video essay about The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time from now on. Okay, so I previously purchased the SanDisk MicroSD Express, the 256 gigabyte one. I didn't go with the terabyte because they were very expensive, and I figured I wouldn't fill this up that quickly. So you'll need to upgrade to this new type of MicroSD card if you want to use it on your Switch 2. Because it's faster. So it's not just a cash grab. It's gonna need that faster storage for these better games. Now, where are you? Where do you go? Right there. A little hidden spot there. I'll be using my smartphone to sign in to my Nintendo account because everything's got to be complicated. You know, when I get a new Steam Deck or Steam OS machine, I scan a little QR code and it just, all my shit's just there. Now I got to type in a little code. I was worried about the transfer process. I do want to get my save data off of the original Switch and move it over to the Switch 2. Please don't download all the games. Just the save data would be great. Thank you. I have like a terabyte's worth of games on this one. I don't want all those games, please. Fortunately, this process only moved over the save data, and also it goes through some of your photos in the album and stuff. The save data, it deletes off of the original Switch. The photos stay on the original Switch. So it wasn't so bad. We'll wait for this. One of the things it doesn't come with is a case. So if you want to take it anywhere with you, you're going to need to put it in something. What are you doing here? I brought this case for you. Why are you whispering? I didn't want to interrupt, so I thought I would whisper. How would that? What is this? Why are you here? The sponsor this week is Genki, and they brought us a bunch of Switch 2 stuff. Yeah, I know. I also work here. All right. Go ahead. I'll just stay out of your way. I'll just be over here. Genki have launched a few accessories for next-gen handheld gaming. The Sleeper Case is a deceptively rugged wool-wrapped hard case that protects whatever generic handheld that might fit in here. A lot harder than it looks. There's enough storage in there to fit 18 game carts and whatever else you might throw at it. It could fit the console naked, or it could fit our next case, the Attack Vector, which is more of a form-fitted live-in case with swappable grips. It comes in 3 different styles, so you can try them all and pick the one that fits best for you. I like the big one for my big meaty hands. There's also a MagSafe style mount to fit any other accessory you might have, like a rechargeable battery pack, perhaps. This could also work with the kickstand and the dock, and the controllers are detachable with whatever console you're gonna put in here. All right, next. You get it? You get it? I get it? Just give me the next thing. I don't get it. I'm sorry. We also have this tempered glass screen protector with a smudge-free coating and an easy applicator to get it aligned perfectly. They also didn't even ask me to mention this, but I've been actually using the Seiya carry case. You might have seen it in a previous video. This is what I actually use when I go away with a large handheld. And when I'm out, I just like to use this to carry like a camera and a battery with me when I don't want to use a whole backpack. Hey, give that back. Okay, I'm sorry. Get 10% off of Genki's whole line for the next 48 hours by using code WULFF10 at the link in the description below. Genki and its designs are not affiliated with, licensed, or endorsed by Nintendo Co. Ltd. Perfect. That was great. Good job. All right. Roll it back. We'll take it from the top. One more time. What? No, Benny, no. Stop that. Could you leave? I'm in the middle of something. Okay? All right. Hey, same time next week. We got Factor next week. Yes. Yep. I know. I make the schedule. Sometimes I'm a little harsh on him, but you don't know him like I know him. You don't hate him like I hate him. Putting him into the videos every week, it's hard to edit. All right, that only took about 10, 15 minutes. I now have my coffee. It is only 2 in the morning. System transfer complete. Complete the setup. Go to the home button. The music stopped because it's going to do a whole thing, right? Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Upload complete. What are we uploading? Is this all downloading right now? Oh my god, it's downloading all my games. All right. I don't think we need to download every one of those. I think we should prioritize the games that we're downloading a little bit. Jesus Christ. The sounds, the ASMR sounds of the Switch 2. I like the way the home screen looks. I know people are upset about themes. I think it looks just fine. I also feel the need to bring this up. There is a setting under the settings, screen burn-in reduction. This is just for external TVs. That same setting was there on the previous Nintendo Switch. So I do want to test and play with a bunch of these games that I previously had on my old Nintendo Switch. I'm going to be playing a lot of Mario Maker 2. That's just the game I have the most time on. I also kind of want to try just a little bit of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, because that game is a little hard to emulate, although they added a patch so that it should work well in here, because the Nintendo Switch 1 games on here are emulated, or I guess there's like a translation layer going on. So it's kind of emulation, but not really. So I'm curious to see how this handles some games that are hard to emulate on other hardware. Maybe Tetris Effect. That's another one that is hard to emulate for some reason. And that is one that I don't think has gotten any updates. So if you get the Mario Kart World Bundle with your Nintendo Switch 2, it is a scratch-off download code. I'm sorry. I don't get to taste what the new cartridges taste like. Oh, now we get to see what the new eShop is like. Is there a pin for your Nintendo account? Lose my mind here. Did I mention I wanted to try Cyberpunk? We have to do that because that's just a good benchmark to see how this compares to other consoles. Oh, and Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour. I don't know how much of that I'm going to be playing. Let's see how the eShop runs, though. I froze it. I froze it immediately. They didn't fix the eShop at all. Is this the first system crash? Am I the first one? In the eShop of all places to crash the system? I seriously can't do anything. I have to hard reset. You know what? It boots really quick though, so I'll give it that. All right, now I was just testing to see how quick the eShop is. Oh, we gotta try Fortnite because I want to see if mouse mode works. I need to like load a page. Yeah, I mean it's definitely better. I mean, the original Switch 1's eShop was just garbage. This is loading good, and I'm, like, able to, like, enter pages fine and stuff, but it did crash on me, so there was that. Other games. I need more. Cyberpunk. The third time I'm saying, man. What the... I had really high hopes that they fixed the Nintendo account system. And you know what? There's still room for, there's still time for them to redeem themselves a little bit. Okay, whatever. Give me a Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour, I guess. I don't like that I have to pay for this game, but I guess I will. Every time I have to buy something, I gotta set time number 4, I'm signing in. There's gotta be a setting to change for this. I'll click Remember Me. Is it gonna do anything? Will it ask me to sign in if I get a free game? It does not. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna let that load. And while we let that load, let's see what this looks like. Oh yeah, dude. There is some mouse acceleration on. It feels so like natural to use the thumbstick with the mouse. I kind of love this. Also, my friend Layer Shift on Twitter printed a little mouse guy. It's kind of perfect. There you go. I got a little mouse guy. Amazing. Oh, you can drag. Wow. Now, when I set up the dock, I guess I should do that now while I'm waiting. I would like to see what external mice are like. It is way meatier. Look at this thing. I don't think I've seen a comparison of this before. It is meatier in a lot of ways. It is also thicker that way. What do we got going on in the back here? Ooh, this whole thing comes off? Jesus, I hate the way that these do this because I keep losing this piece. This piece always comes off. Now I got to reroute a whole cable. Oh, jeez. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, my poor cable management. Oh, it doesn't fit. It's a little thicker. It's ever so slightly wider, and that's just enough for it to not fit in my power strip down here. Oh, God. Okay, I did it. I don't know when that camera stopped recording. I have one of those power strips with the articulating sockets, and so I was able to get it to fit. HDMI, pretty sure this is a 2.1. Yep, ultra high speed. If you're getting one of these, you should just use all of the cables that they provided if you're not sure if you have enough stuff. You got to make sure your cable's got the juice for it, you know? You only have this one little spot for the cables to come out of. That's not the best, but oh well. So you will be able to use a mouse and even a keyboard in some games, but it looks like it doesn't work on the OS level with an external mouse. That's really weird. If you're navigating around the Switch, you gotta use the Joy-Con. Very strange. Mario Kart downloaded, I got the attack vector on, and I might be a little quieter now because it is 3 o'clock in the morning. I also forgot that I got the Pro Controller. We have to look at what this looks like. So, brand new old Pro Controller versus brand new Pro Controller. And gotta tell you, think the D-pad is the same D-pad. It looks to be the exact same size. In fact, the entire unit is the same size. These buttons do feel way better though on the new one. And the sticks are massively improved. That's enough to make me want to upgrade. Also, you got more buttons on the back that are mappable. I played a little 2D Mario and it felt kind of exactly what I felt before with a Pro Controller, but going into the button tester and testing out those diagonals, I gotta say, it is way less sensitive to diagonal inputs than the original Pro Controller. So maybe people are right. Maybe this is a greatly improved D-pad. It feels exactly the same tactilely, but the response you get is greatly improved. Still don't like the angle it's on, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's just really quickly try to get in a little bit of Mario Kart World while we're in portable mode still. God, I got so many fingerprints on this thing already. Jesus Christ. Now, I am not a Mario Kart connoisseur, but feels like Mario Kart to me. The 120 frames per second is definitely apparent. The high resolution of the screen is definitely apparent. Also, the animations are just way smoother. Remember, Mario Kart 8 is like, what, 10 years old or more? Hey, I'm a Goomba. There's so much going on in this. How do I grind on rails? I want this to be Sonic, not Mario. I'm not a Mario Kart guy, so this is not a great way for me to be experiencing my Switch 2, honestly. But I'm going to dock it and see how it looks there. I do want to plug it into my monitor here. This is a 4K 120 hertz monitor. This should be able to do 1440p. I think it's 60 with Mario Kart. Maybe we can get it to be 1080p 120. We'll see what we can do with it. Let's set up this dock real quick. I have it in the attack vector currently, and it does work with the dock. So there we go. It does take a little bit of wiggling to get it in there with the attack vector on. Okay. God, it's so bright. Holy hell. Can we get 1080 120? That's what I really want. Now, you won't be able to see it at home on YouTube, but I'll be able to see it with my own eyeballs, and that's what I'm most interested in. I'm getting 60? Why? What? Now why is that? It still says 60. I don't like that at all. So this is the free roam area. I'm hearing that it's not as robust as people were hoping for, which is a little disappointing. This is something I was a little excited to see. It's something we haven't seen in a Mario Kart game before. Oh my god, I'm cool Mario now. What the hell happened? I mean, it's a steady 60, so at least that's nice. But I want to see some 120, man. What's going on? I can at least confidently say that I do really like the thumbstick on this new Pro Controller. It feels really good, nice and smooth. The other one had some grinding around the thumbstick. You'd see like some white dust. I don't have an old one on me, but there would be some white dust that built up over where the stick is. This one looks like it'll be nice and smooth and won't have that issue anymore. So that at least is worth the upgrade. What if we bring it down to 720p? Can we get higher frame rates now? It looks like hell. It says 60. It's looking like it's still 60. That's crazy. I guess I'll have to get a lot more testing done. It's gonna be a long night. So the plan was to stay up all night, but I'm too old. I couldn't do it. I got a couple more things done this morning with this. I checked out Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour a little bit. I just wanted to beeline it to the 120 frame per second mini game. And in order to do that, you need to walk around the left Joy-Con and press A about what, 20 times? Then you get to the mini game. I'm pretty sure that this is the only 120 frame per second docked mode thing on the Nintendo Switch 2 right now. No other games run at 120 frames per second in docked mode at all. Yes, this is at 1080p. I was expecting a little more, especially because Mario Kart 8 reportedly runs at up to 120 frames per second in handheld mode. Why not just let that happen in docked mode? If I want to lower the resolution, let me lower the resolution. I'd rather have the frame rate. I want to try the frame rate. I also mentioned that Cyberpunk seems to run the monitor in 120 Hz mode. This is actually kind of cool because Cyberpunk seems to try to hit 40 frames per second. So 120, 1/3 of that is 40 frames per second. So it kind of scales perfectly into that. And for what it's worth, Cyberpunk seems to be pretty steady. A little jagged on the edges there, but the frame rate's pretty good. There is no variable refresh rate in docked mode. So when you play a game like Cyberpunk or even Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, the system will basically turn the monitor off and turn it back on to turn it into 120 Hz mode. And I went back and looked at the footage from the Nintendo event where I saw somebody playing Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, the 120 frame per second minigame. And yes, it looked like it did turn the monitor off and turn it back on then too. This is something I was really excited about. I mostly play my Switch in docked mode, and I am very interested in high frame rates. A lot more interested than I would be in 4K. I want better frame rates more than I want 4K. So this is a little disappointing. There are updates coming in the future. Fast Fusion, everybody's telling me that game runs at 120. There's an update coming to make it work at 120. I also tried Fortnite. That is locked at 60. It seems to be very smooth. There's also no mouse controls. That is coming in an update in about 2 days. What the hell, man? Where's all the features? The good news is games like Mario Kart World seem to be high frame rates in handheld mode. So if you're a handheld girly, you'd probably have a really good time with this console. So I don't want to like sit here and poo-poo this hardware the whole video because it is an impressive piece of tech from Nintendo in portable mode. It feels really good. The screen really shines in portable mode. The kickstand is way better. The Joy-Con are bigger. They feel way better. The thumbsticks are way better, even though they're probably not Hall effect, but that's okay. It's got 2 USB-C ports. This thing is really cool, and it's a lot more powerful. I mostly play in docked mode, so I am pretty disappointed in a few things. Mouse mode isn't as supported as I would like. Hopefully that gets rolled out into more games in the future, like Fortnite. Hopefully more games get 120 frames per second mode in docked mode. Hopefully variable refresh rate gets rolled out in docked mode. That's something that could be fixed in a firmware update. I am very happy with how Nintendo Switch 1 games seem to be running on here. There doesn't seem to be any sort of emulation tomfoolery. It looks like it's pretty much a one-to-one, or in some cases, a much better version of the Switch 1 game. Even in a game like Tetris Effect, which does not have any Nintendo Switch 2 enhancements as far as I know, that game seems to run just fine, and that's a game that does not emulate well on emulators. Echoes of Wisdom does have an enhanced version, and it seems to run just great. Yeah, so if this was emulated, that would look a lot worse. And it looks like the tilt shift effect is just fine. So maybe these improvements came with the update that it had to download. Nintendo had to make sure that thousands of games were going to work with the Switch 2. So I'm sure that over the next couple of days, people will find some errors in their translation layer that they're running. But it's a huge undertaking making sure all those games work. So pat them on the back a little bit. I'm hearing other reports like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, for example, has way faster load times now. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I heard, is playable. I was watching Mega Man on Twitch play it, and it seemed like it was actually a stable frame rate for once. I think my disappointment comes from some of the misinformation that was out there that I might have gotten dragged into. Or maybe it was Nintendo not being so clear on things. Whose fault is it that some of us thought Mario Kart World would be 120 frames per second in docked mode. You know, but like, why wouldn't it be? It is in handheld. Just let me do it in docked. Also, I'm just not a big Mario Kart fan, and that's like the one game that's out right now. For early adopters, I mean, you know what you're getting into. If you didn't get this thing day one, you could probably wait a little bit. Wait for some more games to come out. Wait for this thing to be a little more polished. Also, remember, it did crash on me once, like the second I turned it on. Also, transferring everything over has never been Nintendo's strong suit. Setting up a Nintendo console, has always been a little bit of a pain in the ass. When this thing was revealed and all of the specs were announced and we saw a 120 hertz screen in it, I'll admit that I was surprised that Nintendo was putting this much tech in a handheld. And I think I let that excitement get a little ahead of me, and I should have rolled it back a little bit and understood this is still Nintendo and it's still gonna be like a Nintendo console. So I have high hopes that there will still be games like Cyberpunk that run great and are very impressive in a handheld form factor, but we need some updates and I need to see more. Again, in handheld, you're gonna have a great time with this thing. Docked, I would like to see a little more. Let's get some updates. Let's get some higher frame rates, and then maybe I will have a good time. Thank you very much. It does feel really nice. It is a substantial upgrade if you're gonna touch it, if you're gonna poke at it, if you're gonna feel it, if you're gonna look at it, if you're gonna smell it. Unfortunately, I didn't get a game cart, so I can't lick it to tell you how it tastes. Anyway. Subscribe again if you'd like to see some shorts over the next couple of days. I'll let you know if I run into anything else. Let me know if there's a game that's confirmed 1080p 120 docked, because I would love to see it. And go to twitch.tv/wolfden. I'll be streaming some Mario Kart 8, probably, maybe some Mario Maker 2, playing on the Switch 2. I'll also try some accessories to see what works. I heard 8-Bit Do might have issues and might need a firmware update to work on the Switch 2. I also hear that GP2040, the fight stick open source firmware, works on the Switch 2, which is great because I got a lot of controllers that work on that. Hopefully I got this video out in a timely manner, although I'm happy that I got to spend a little more time with this. There was a lot more that I wanted to try out than I thought. So it's been a decent day so far with this thing. We'll see how the next couple of days go. Thank you very much. Have a good next couple of days.